do any of you actually like any games that are coming out or actually excited for some new release? Because I'm finding I am surprisingly losing interest in modern titles. Every now and then there'll be something that I've been looking forward to that comes out, but that's far and few these days compared to, when... I mean, maybe it's just I'm looking at this through nostalgia lenses, but it seems to me that back before, it's not so much a Steam thing or, like a third-party service culture that's changed it. It's more just, it seems as though games became more interested in finding trends that work than doing something out of the pure interest or enjoyment of the developers. And you still get some good ones. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll probably still pick up some random new titles every now and then, but I find that I always go back to games that I grew up with, or games that I always wanted to try from, like 20 plus years ago, rather than these new titles. So the issue then becomes, how do you run these things, since most of your modern systems can't do that anymore. It's all being phased out because of new software, and in the case of some of these exclusives, if you don't have your hands on, say, like a Dreamcast, you're kind of screwed. But I brought Pony on, and
What's up?
Just on the border of your waking mind.
You see the look in a pirate's eyes when he hears words as call. Step back and cold, happy about it, someone's gonna call. All up for your tiny simple bunch of story posts. Some of us want this man and all of us want drugs.
we're going to talk about the issue, I guess, with modern games, and where to go and how to do old games, because it's changed. It's not as easy as it used to be. That's almost exclusively thanks to Nintendo. I have a beef with Nintendo. But I don't, what do you think, Pony? What was your favorite games?
Nintendo games.
No, just games in general. Fighting Herds or whatever it was called?
I never played that. Couldn't bear seeing my girls beat each other up. I don't know. There was too many games. I hate to say something as generic as Minecraft, but
Okay, that's a choice.
Minecraft is pretty good.
I got burned out of Minecraft. I was with, I got started with it late, like 10 years after it actually was released or something. And it was to do it with some friends. And what I discovered is all of us being adults meant that it was a rather rare schedule when we were all there. And my reason for being there was multiplayer exclusively. And yeah, I got tired of like making these public works, because that's basically what I did. I was the person that did all the public works, and then no one was ever there to use them. So yeah, I got burnt out pretty bad.
You were like the mayor to a city that doesn't exist.
No, it was more like the architect to a city that doesn't exist. I made several things. And the only time it ever got used was when I made this elaborate racetrack. And that actually was a Grand Prix that I held once. And there was quite a few people that were on that track, and I had a good time. And then that was basically the beginning of the end. After that, no one showed up on the server in general, not just the racetrack, but yeah.
Sad story, bro.
It's a common story, I suppose. I don't know how often that happens, or if that's even the reason people play Minecraft, but it was for me. Anyway, what's your take on modern games?
I don't like modern games.
Do you have any that you actually like?
Any modern games? No.
That's not too surprising. I mean, there's a good one every now and then. You gotta get really into Bomb Rush.
Oh, that would be a good one. I never played it. I don't know what was the most modern game I have played. I'd have to think about it honestly. Most modern game. Does playing a game on someone else's system count?
Sure.
Then I guess it would be the first Dishonored.
That was still pretty good. Yeah, that was definitely like developers that actually enjoyed what they were doing.
I guess I play Gary's Mod on modern servers. But I don't know when it actually came out.
I think it was like 2005 or something, I don't actually remember.
But is Gary's Mod a game or a sandbox that people build games in?
Well, what do you think is the issue with modern games then?
Storage space.
That's one.
The fact that they can't fit onto a disk anymore is kind of lame.
Yeah, that's another one. The question whether or not you actually even own your games is kind of annoying, because they're all, like, even with the, I think it was like the Xbox 360 when it started? I don't exactly
No, that
remember,
happened
but
around the Xbox One.
that sounds a bit late, but I don't know. Well, anyway, the fact that your console games can't even have a game regulated to a disc that you actually can just go back and play rather than being a download code, more or less, that is used by the servers to say, yes, I actually own this game and please let me play it. That's a little annoying, especially when they patch the things, because I've been on the computer rather than on a console for a long time now. The last console I actually had was a PlayStation 2. So I've not actually had these problems, but I know a lot of people that did, where they'd get something, and then a patch later, it no longer works. Because the company somehow screwed it up. That's always been an issue with modern games. But I'd say even beyond that, at least in my opinion, one of the biggest issues is seemingly lack of originality, as odd as that might sound. Because you can find plenty of things that seem original, but basically your majority is relying upon things that have already set trends and just roll with that. Or in these days, it's remasters, which 90% of the time, the original was better. And that's another rabbit hole that You Got actually made a video about quite a bit ago. But yeah, I don't really like modern games at all. So, the obvious question then is, how do you go and make a old game work on these modern systems? Whether that be if it was actually for the computer or if it was for, say, some kind of a console. And sometimes it's difficult, sometimes it's pretty easy, but let's go over the ins and outs. Well, we got one more thing to talk about now I'm thinking about it. the question of how that has become a little bit harder. The problem is, it used to be pretty easy to find these things, like GameCube games, PlayStation games, Xbox games. It used to be really easy to find these things. You can still find them, but it's become a whole lot more hard after Nintendo more or less sued over ROM sites. And that's because they decided that despite the fact that they don't release these things, they really don't want people hosting these things online. Which, I mean, it's their property, so I guess they have the right. I'm not going to debate copyright here. But it's most of them get left to rot, and then they get angry when they find people still want to play it. So yeah, I got a lot of anger with
It was becoming
Nintendo.
a problem before Nintendo. But Nintendo sped up the process with their online service. With Nintendo rotating their old games on the online service, now all the people that were using emulated copies became a target. Basically, they just want you to pay for the game again.
And the annoying thing about that is, it's been proven they actually use the pirated ROMs, because their original ROMs often had very archaic architecture, and to get them working, the people that were uploading them to sites and things actually fixed some of the code. And yeah, Nintendo has been using pirated ROMs because apparently they didn't save their own, which just shows you how much they care. Anyway, so how do you go about getting these things now? There's still plenty of places.
Who's the real thief here? The person that pirates ROMs? Or the company that makes money from pirated ROMs?
Once again, my opinions on copyright are fairly well known, I think, if you've watched the channel, but they supposedly own them. You know, if you're gonna be a very, how would I put it? If you're going to try and say, you know, I don't do nothing that's even close to illegal, well, then this is not your video.
Screw off, mouth breather.
Okay, so, the first place where I would look, since some of the lovely places, like, take for instance, Emu Paradise kinda got nuked,
Rest in peace.
the first place really to look for anything is the archives, because the archives have all sorts of interesting stuff, not just let's see what this one was. I have a lot of archives saved tabs. Yeah, this is all the visual novels. You can find a lot of interesting things if you go looking on the archive. A lot of stuff you wouldn't expect to find. And they take them down at times, but the people that upload them tend to re-upload them if they find that it's been taken down, even if it means making another account. So yeah, this is always a good place to start. You'll find some interesting stuff here, and in the case of... Yeah, I remember for this. This is retarded but hilarious.
We must watch it if you say that.
てますか？全然聞くよね。じゃあ答え。おー、こんにちは、ナナです。はい、はいやー。はい、ちっちゃいからってバカにはできない。あたいに触るとしびれるで。スタイル悪くて背が低くて頭が悪くてぺったんこです。フランス、イギリス、ちょっと飛んでアメリカ。ヘイガール、何してるの？わほー、ラップです。三枝さん。遊びましょう。お茶の子さいさい。じゃあ歌え。バーンダーンクソトジクシトッカーンハルチンミラクルバイオレンスクラッシュ。はるかはうるさい。デスクトップパソコン。
So they have Clan Nad and Air. Maybe I just thought I saw it.
Yeah,
Oh, they do have Air.
they have a lot of stuff on here. including some stuff that will be specific to, say, Japanese versions of Windows, but once again, you can actually work around that. All you have to do is just set up your system so that it has the Japanese language included, and if you do that, those games will actually run. It's just a matter of they don't exactly understand what text they're supposed to be showing if you don't have that installed previously. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can just grab from here, like Super Dull Lika-chan. I have no idea what that is, but whatever.
Well, you are not wrong about being able to do that. But I think some might be more interested in running a virtual machine running a Japanese Windows rather than messing with the actual operating system.
Well, sure. Or you can get a fan translation. Those are two options. But I've never actually used a virtual machine. I know this gonna sound strange, but I've never had to. Partially because there are things that you can use to get around that. What's it called? It's like DG Voodoo or something like that. It's basically a something for making older Windows games run on modern systems. Tends to work, but even then I don't usually have to deal with that. As long as you... It can take a little bit of finagling, but most time, as long as it's not like super archaic like 98 or 95, you can get these things running with little effort. When it comes to things like 95 or 98, you can usually rely upon DOSBox. DOSBox is pretty handy for that. This is a great site, or a great system. It's a very good for archaic code. You can, and even if like the DOSBox that you get doesn't work, there's different versions that have different compatibilities. So normally you can find something. In fact, they've released DOSBox Pure now, which is for RetroArch, which is another thing we need to look at.
Hold up before you go there. Let's see the download page on this site. Oh, it doesn't show the size. I was going to flaunt just how small the size of the program is.
DOSBox? It's probably not going to be more than like maybe 200 megabytes on your system.
That's what I mean. It's tiny and works perfectly.
But there are other places that you can go to find this stuff. RetroArch is a good one for, like, not only putting all of your emulators into one spot, but also for getting your hands on emulators, because they have cores for different systems already on their servers, so you don't actually have to worry about that. Even with all the cores, it's not really a lot of memory to a system. The actual games will always be the biggest drain on your space.
Isn't RetroArch the one that has multiplayer functions?
No, that's Parsec.
No, I am pretty sure RetroArch allows you to play multiplayer games by connecting to a server with that ROM.
Well, if that is the case, I can't say it. Well, it says Netplay, maybe. I've never done that.
Oh, looks like it is just multiplayer over network. I thought not everyone playing the game needed the ROM as long as the server had it.
I can't say I've ever done it, but that's an interesting thing.
Okay, so not everyone out there is going to use Windows. What do we turn to if you use another system? If you are using Mac, OpenEMU is the program you want. It's a good emulator. It's got most of the older consoles and computer systems available. If you are on Linux, you as a person are probably extra and already know what I am going to suggest. Lutris is the program you will want to use. It can emulate a wide variety of systems including Windows games. Well, I don't know any of these games. But Lutris can run them. Now I have never actually used Lutris. Admin says it also has online multiplayer functions, but I really don't know how buggy that is. It is basically a program to sort and run games using cores like RetroArch.
Now, somewhere you can go to actually get not only games, but say pre-built compatibility, or at least advice for compatibility, is Abandonware and some of their pals. I kind of like and dislike Abandonware because they do a good job of putting games on here that they are sure no longer are sold, but that also means that as soon as they find somewhere that's selling it, they will no longer allow you to download it, which is, in my opinion, kind of stupid, but I mean, I think that's how they at least keep the site running. So I can't say too much about that.
So what you are saying is download anything you want to try now while it is still there.
Yeah, basically. This is a good place to find Spider-Man 2!
I wanted to see kid pics.
I only have this on PlayStation. I didn't realize this is for the Windows. Man, I want to do this on Windows.
Go back, let's look at Kid Pics Deluxe. We need to speedrun this.
Oh, Kid Pics, I remember this. This was retarded.
The sound effects on this are the bomb.
And of course they have My Amazing Body, which is a game that every kid has ever played.
This looks fun.
Just look at that. Don't you want to play this game?
I love the wall indents shaped like body pieces.
Yeah, I think you're basically taking this man apart. He's served his time in his little office cubicle, and now we're going to harvest him for his organs.
That's depressing. What is that long indent for? Do I really want to know?
I assume it's his spine.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
But this is obviously for his testicles. So this is a good one. Another good one is Collection Chamber. This one, they also basically grab whatever they think is no longer being used. And as you can see, they'll put down what they think you should be running it in for like compatibility. So you have some things where up here, look at this quickly. This is obviously for the Amiga.
Good old Amiga.
And how they say you ought to run it. It already has a compatibility built in. So yeah, like I said, some of these sites will really be accommodating for you. And of course, there's always ModDB. They can be pretty handy at times. ModDB is primarily just for mods, per the name, but you can also find where they have old abandoned games available for you to download. So you can look like Brutal Doom. Brutal Doom isn't actually Doom, it's its own built-in engine and things, and you can download that. Though I don't know why you'd be downloading it from here. You could download it from 1,000 places. I did this once or twice. It was pretty fun. There's something fun about grabbing a enemy and using them as a meat shield.
What was that other Doom game? It was called Gore Fantasy 3D or something like that. You probably shouldn't look that up.
Now you too can download and 3D print an Extreme Gore Big Pack.
Except it's not there anymore. Gore Galore is the name apparently. Yeah, this is it.
This looks like the Windows XP maze with the rat.
I'm pretty sure it's a Doom clone.
Old games, huh? Well, here's another one for you that I did not know about.
What is SCAT 3000?
Do you wanna know? Card game, apparently.
That is not what I was thinking.
I don't think it's what anyone is thinking. Anyway, so there are some options for you. Not only for how to go about getting old games, but also how to run them. This is a fairly short video comparatively, because we're not going to like actually bother with setting something up and showing you how that's done. I mean, there's 1,000 different YouTube videos you can go to for this stuff. Just this is what we use, and primarily it works. Primarily, every now and then you'll come across something where it's finicky, but even then you can make it work. Like take for instance, I've had a love-hate relationship with Mech Commander 2 because it works for me and then it doesn't work for me some days, and I don't know why. But overall, it's fun enough that I go back and try and make it work again. An addendum to the end of this video. As it would turn out, Emu Paradise is actually back up and running again, which is news to me. I was under the impression that they had gone the way of the buffalo, specifically because they couldn't get out of the legal issues. Thankfully they're back. I assumed their legal issues ended when they took the majority of those Nintendo games off, but give it a few years, which it has been, and I guess everyone's kind of forgot, so I don't know how long they've been up since, but they're back now. And I mean, it's still fairly easy to go grab what you need if you know how to, but now it's even gotten easier, so things are looking up. Now, back to your actually scheduled Mech Commander ending. Bum bum bum.
Nice car.
I'm gonna own one of these one today. Look at that thing.
Look it up on Import Cars. Let's see how much it costs.
That is a different video.
No, we're making it this video. Do it now. We wanna see this video now.